Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Saturday, July 11th, 2020. Big news story this Saturday evening. Donald Trump, for the first time, has been seen in public wearing a mask during the time of the coronavirus outbreak. And what I want people to see is the ritual of why he is wearing the mask today, July 11th, 2020, not by any accident. As I've been proving since 2015, Donald Trump is a puppet on strings. Since 2015, we've called many news stories for Donald Trump before they even happened. And it's from understanding the way these rituals are performed. So from Trump's birthday to today, July 11th, is his 28th day of his age. And in gematria, mask equals 28. It also sums to 44. And this is math. It's not like you can manipulate words to equal whatever you want. It's a very simple code. It's the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. One cipher is the alphabetic order forwards, another is the alphabetic order in reverse. And then the third and fourth ciphers are those same orders using the rules of numerology. So mask with the alphabetic order is 44, with the reverse alphabetic order and rules of numerology is 28. This news comes July 11th, which is the 193rd day of the leap year, and 193 is the 44th prime number. If you've missed the last 100 or so videos I've done on the ongoing coronavirus stories, we've been showing with evidence that who is behind this agenda, which is what it is the Catholic Church, and more specifically the Jesuit order. And right now, for the first time in the history of the Catholic Church, they have a Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, we've been talking a lot about. But today being the 193rd day of the year, Roman Catholic Church is 193. We've talked about this number in relations to the death of Bill Gates' mother on her 193rd day of her husband's age in the year 94, which was a big year for Bill Gates. But in gematria terms, 193 and 94, they have this relationship. We talked about this with MLK's father as well, his mother being assassinated in a church in 1974 on the 193rd day of the husband's age. How Martin Luther King Jr. died on April 4th, 1968, the 95th day of the leap year, and Martin Luther, the leader of the Protestants, wrote the 95 Thesis against the Catholic Church, which the Jesuits were formed to counter and to get rid of, Martin Luther, who died 6 years after the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. But anyway, these numbers, they connect to so many rituals with the church. Here we are on the 193rd day of the year, reminding us who's the boss. And don't forget when Donald Trump posed with Pope Francis May 24th, 2017, the 144th day of the year, when Jesuit order equals 144. Don't forget that. Donald Trump with Pope Francis. Trump had a really big devilish grin on his face. The Pope looked like something was very wrong with the Pope, and then Ivanka and Melinda were dressed like they were there for a funeral. May 24, 2017. 144th day of the year, Jesuit order 144. But coronavirus mask, the gematria of it, just that terminology, it also sums to 64. They're saying today is the first day they saw Trump with his coronavirus mask. Mask has the gematria of 44, 64, and 28. Just like the word kill has the gematria of 44, 64, 28. For several years, we've demonstrated how every single month when the 44-64 date rolls around, which sometimes has 17 numerology, sometimes also 28, this month, July 17th, 2020, that'll be a date with 44 and 64 numerology, as well as 28 numerology, plus it'll be the 17th of the month, July 17th, 2020. Big date with the Jesuits in history, the assassination of Catherine the Great's husband, making her the leader of Russia, who went on to save the Jesuit order. Anyway, these masks can truly be a hazard. People in their cars, overheating, passing out from breathing in their own air, their recycled air, in an already hot environment using recycled air. How many people out there are going to have this scenario, passing out in their car, being involved in a dangerous accident, possibly severely injuring or killing someone? I'm sure these kind of stories are going to happen all over the nation. Millions of people on the roads, a lot of them not very well educated, A lot of them, just trying to make ends meet to pay the bills. Excuse me. But again, there is a real hazard to these masks, and based on what they're telling us about this virus, it's not that deadly, so why not just face it as a society? If you get sick, you get sick, you survive it, you move on, just like you do with the, annual flu season. But anyway, Donald Trump wearing the mask at Walter Reed. I just want you to see in the 4-base ciphers, Donald Trump and Walter Reed, an exact match in 3 out of the 4. With regards to the 159, Scottish Rite equals 159. The Scottish Rite has a headquarters in Washington, D.C. Remember the word Scottish equals 113, the original Walter Reed campus in Washington, D.C., which is the land of the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite. Georgetown, the Jesuit University. But the original Walter Reed campus was 113 acres, Scottish 113. When Donald Trump of Scottish ancestry was asked if he would move the November 3rd election, he goes, no. That date, good numbers, 113. And with regards to 113, notice Walter Reed also has the gematria of 666. Again, if you're not aware of this, look up the Clade X exercise of May 15, 2018, the pandemic simulation. You can watch the 30-minute highlight reel on YouTube, or you can watch the whole 3-hour simulation if you have the time. But Clade X equals 113. The coronavirus pandemic was declared March 11th, 11/3. Coronavirus pandemic equals 113. Clade X equals 113. Johns Hopkins University equals 113, who put on the Clade X simulation. That was exactly 666 days, 666, before the pandemic was declared on March 11th. From the day of Clade X, May 15, 2018, to the day the pandemic was declared March 11, 2020, 666 days later. And again, Clade X 113, coronavirus pandemic 113, the pandemic declared on 11/3. Now Trump's at Walter Reed, which used to have the 113-acre campus, which was in D.C., not far from Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, which was established by a Skull and Bones member, part of a secret society connected to the Bavarian Illuminati, which was founded by Adam Weishaupt, who was a Jesuit. But anyway, Walter Reed with the Sumerian cipher 666, just like vaccination. Remember, HR 6666 is the contact tracing bill proposed to, provide the funding so that government can set up these ways to keep surveillance over us under the guise of not spreading the virus, or tracking the people who have the virus so that if anyone comes in contact with them, they can be warned through their phones. At this same time, when signs are going up in big cities about call this number or text a photo to this number of people violating mandatory masks. So realize, you guys, we talked about this yesterday, those signs being put up in big cities. Remember, if all the government wants you to do is send a photo of somebody's face not wearing a mask, that means that they're testing out their facial recognition technology right now. And don't forget, computers 666 and internet 666, and Apple and Google are the two big companies behind the contact tracing, and Apple priced their first consumer computer at $666. Also, 666 is the number of the beast. Beast has gematria of 47 and 11. Here we are on the 11th day of July, 7/11. Trump equals 47 like president. 47 is the number in D.C. D.C.'s 47, so is government, so is authority, so is the cabal, so is White House, so is president, so is Trump, so is Republicans, so is Democrats, so is news. Remember, 47 degrees on the Masonic compass out of the Scottish Rite of France. France is 47, just using the alphabetic order. So many rituals done in D.C. around the number 47. And also this number connecting to beast and time. The word time is 47. And on the subject of time, the keeper of time is Saturn. Saturn has the gematria of 93, like Wuhan coronavirus. And we get this big symbolic Wuhan coronavirus story on Saturday, the day of the week named after Saturn, with Trump wearing the mask. And again, the mask just has all this symbolism, muzzled, loss of free speech, you know, following orders. It's just, it's so crazy. And the thing is that, if you were awake on 9/11, you've been expecting, how much worse can it get? What will they do next? Well, those questions are now answered. And the thing to understand is if this agenda is not going to stop, or if we're not going to stop this agenda, it's only going to get a lot worse for the people of the world. Because these are agendas. Also today, July 20th, 2020, date with 58 numerology. Remember, Donald Trump won the 58th U.S. presidential election. When he announced he was running, from the 58-story Trump Tower. He hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray for Inauguration Day. Remember, the Catholic Church gave us the calendar system we're on and the language that's synced with the calendar. Again, the Gregorian calendar came out at the end of the 16th century, the same time English was standardized as a 26-letter alphabet. And in gematria, calendar equals 58, Gregorian 58, zodiac 58, solar cycle 58. Right now we have Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, a name that equals 58, who's like the Jesuit-educated Donald Trump, who are synced together as we've been talking about in so many rituals over the years. These instruments of time. Trump and Pope Francis are like special crafted pieces on the chessboard, used in rituals such as this, symbolic for the people of the world. But again, 58 date numerology today, this number that connects with the calendar and time and the concept of all things being God, including time. Tetragrammaton equals 58, the four-letter name of God. Like time, the four-letter word. The four seasons. Don't forget the tropics of the earth are 47 degrees apart. The word time also equals 47, just using the alphabetic order. T's the 20th letter, I's the 9th, M's the 13th, E's the 5th, 20 plus 9 plus 13 plus 5, 47. Also the day of this symbolic mask wearing by Trump. It's a day with 38 numerology. Pandemic equals 38. DC's on the 38th parallel north. Kabbalah equals 38, where this code of letters and numbers comes from. The word Jew is 38. I bring that up because Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism. And here's an article from the Jewish Forward, The Secret Jewish History of 7-Eleven. When you walk into your local 7-Eleven today to get your free Slurpee, this being July 11th or 7-Eleven, or as it is celebrated everywhere, 7-Eleven Day, consider for a moment that the convenience the store brings is based upon gematria, or the hidden meaning of numbers in Judaism. And again, there's a lot more to say about that, but in light of it being 11/7, we've talked about this before with Trump and the presidency and what government is, mind control, which the CIA is behind a lot of at this day and age. Today is 11/7, Central Intelligence Agency's 117. The acronym CIA is 68, like Donald John Trump, and The Apprentice is 68, like Barack Obama's 68. The 44th president, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act, who ran on hope, where hope equals 44 and 64, like civil rights is 64, and so is Barack Hussein Obama. But don't forget, MLK, killed on 4/4 in 1968 for another 44 and 68 combo. And again, all these events steering history, the course of history, what we know about history, and it's all been done by a numerical code, and that code's used against us every single day. 1968 was a huge year. It was the year coronavirus was coined. It was the year 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. It was the year World Trade Center construction began. It was the year George W. Bush graduated from Yale in Skull and Bones. In light of Trump being 74 years old right now, don't forget the significance of that number, just using the alphabetic order. Occult, Masonic, Jewish, English, Gematria, they're all 74. They say George Washington had 74 generals. George Washington equals 74. Holiday equals 74. Independence Day 74. This year on Trump's 74th birthday, the 74th Charles Schwab Classic concluded, and it was won by a Jewish golfer with a April 7th birthday, a date that can be written 7-4 or 4-7. Trump's tower burned on that date a couple years back, April 7th, just like how he was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel the night of the election. Again, all this is ritual. Don't forget, when it comes to 7-4, July 4th, killing equals 74. And 3 of the first 5 presidents died on July 4th, 7-4. Adams and Jefferson both died on July 4th, 1826. Adams and Jefferson dead July 4th, 1826. 1,826 days later, July 4th, 1831, Monroe died. We remember the killing of Caesar on the 74th day of the year, the Ides of March, where Caesar equals 47. So again, very repetitive numbers. And when you learn gematria, you really see what's up with these rituals and just how big of puppets these politicians are. Something we've been exposing about Obama and everyone else who's come before by this code for a long time. So this isn't about partisan or politics. This is about people seeing the agenda and how our government is a puppet show controlled by things more powerful, things more ancient, if you will, like the church. All right, Truth Seeker, we'll leave it there. Till next time.